right, you guys, we're gonna have a little chat about gratitude, what gratitude really is, and what it is not. What it is not. Because I've noticed that there are some people that confuse gratitude with a little bit of fear and a little bit of lack of worthiness. So I want to explain to you, what do I actually mean? I always say this to you guys as we do shadow work, that shadows are tricksters. Shadows do not want to be recognized. They're very subconscious. So they try to always convince us that they're actually something good. They disguise themselves into something good. And many times I've noticed that fear and lack of worthiness can disguise themselves in a very trickster way as gratitude. So let's unpack that. Gratitude is actually a very beautiful frequency, very beautiful emotion. It is very much connected to love, to self-love, to trust in the universe, to worthiness. It's rooted in worthiness as well, right? I am grateful for what I have. I acknowledge that I'm worthy of receiving these things that I have. So I want to give you two examples for you to understand that we sometimes confuse it with those two shadows that I mentioned. So how is it possible that we confuse gratitude with fear? One statement that I need you to really feel into. Gratitude does not turn us into slaves, okay? The fact that I am grateful for something or someone doesn't mean that I'm gonna adjust everything that I do and who I am, God forbid, to lose that thing. If you're grateful for something, but you are afraid to lose it, it is rooted in fear. It is your fear. So I'm gonna give you an example. I am so grateful for this partner that I have. I'm so grateful that I'm not alone, that I have this love. So I'm going to walk on eggshells. I'm never going to tell this partner how I feel. I'm never going to give them my true emotion because I'm so grateful. It is not gratitude. It is fear of loss. It is fear of losing something that subconsciously you don't feel that you deserve. You feel like you got it, and now you have to become the slave of that frequency, of that thing. Similarly, it can happen with a job that we have. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for this job. So I'm going to work overtime. I'm going to do everything. I'm never going to say honest things to my boss because God forbid I'm going to lose this job. It is not gratitude. It is fear. It is deeply rooted in fear. Now, let's unpack the lack of worthiness. Lack of worthiness happens every time when you think that you feel grateful, but you actually feel that you have to pay back for whatever is it that you got and you received. So again, let's give those two examples. I'm in a relationship. I love this person so much. So I have to pay it back, right? So I'm gonna get up every day at 5 a.m. because this is where they get up to make breakfast, right? And I'm gonna clean for them, and I'm gonna cook for them, and I'm gonna ignore everything, that they do. I'm gonna be that servant, that slave, because I'm so grateful. And now I have to show to the universe my gratitude through this payment, right? Or again, it can go with a job. I am so grateful, so I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna work like a slave. Side note, it is the distorted system that actually, the corporate machine that actually feeds that feeling within us, right? That you have that good job, so you have to be the best employee. You have to do overtime. You have to overwork. You have to do extra things. You have to volunteer for everything because I'm so grateful for that job. Now, let me break this to you. That comes from lack of worthiness. You actually don't believe that you, by simply being and existing, you deserve something. And you feel like you have to do extra things to pay it back, to show to the universe that you're actually grateful, but you're achieving quite the opposite. It is not your partner that gives you that relationship. It is not the employer that gives you that job. In the end, it is the universe. It is Father Universe. It is Source. And you're supposed to be grateful not for something physical that you're attached to, but for a vibration. I am grateful for love. It doesn't mean that I'm a slave of this love. It doesn't mean that I have zero worthiness. It doesn't mean that I have to pay back, disregarding my values, disregarding the fact that I myself am tired, that I myself am not receiving anything in return, right? For example, from this person. I am grateful. So I will cherish that thing. But that cherishing, that giving back should come from a place of love. And a thing that I feel that people often don't understand and people often confuse, and I often break this down and highlight this to you guys when we talk about reciprocity. Reciprocity is not in the moment towards this person, right? So again, let's go back to those examples. I am grateful that my partner, for example, when I wasn't feeling that well, prepared me a meal. It doesn't mean that on the next day I have to do the very same thing to him just to make sure that we're even. This is not about being even. I'm grateful what I receive from the universe, from all the love, all the abundance, all the security that flows towards me through a variety of sources. So I'm going to give that back, but not necessarily in the same moment, not necessarily to the same person. Thank you, universe, for giving me this job. The fact that I have a job and I have security, I will give back. I will tap into my frequency and will do things for this world to say that I am grateful. It is not me and you. It is actually the distortion of the matrix. It is the program of a matrix that makes us think that this is how it works. And through that, we're actually killing off the communities. How? Through spiritual perspective, the frequency of love and light, true communities should look like, right? So again, I am grateful, and this gratitude is rooted in love. And through this gratitude, I feel worthy of receiving those things that come to me. And because I feel worthy, I'm not turning into a slave, but I am turning into an authentic version of myself that will give back, not the exact same physical thing, because we don't attach, but my frequency, because we connect. So I will give back a little bit of myself. And obviously, when we are in a relationship, whether that's friendship or, partnership, that reciprocity has to flow through both of us, right? But again, I highlight this to you guys always. What you have to pay attention to is the emotion that your action is rooted in. So if I do something extra for the person I work for, because I admire them, because I love this job, because it's really within me, it's okay, I want to do it, because I believe in what we're doing here, right? Let's say you work for a small company, you have a boss who's like an amazing person, you really admire them, and you're really coming from a place of love and from a place of just like fulfillment. That's absolutely fine. If you have a partner and he or she does something amazing for you, and then next day you go, I'm gonna get her like something special, or like a bouquet of flowers, or the thank you card, I'm gonna cook them a beautiful meal because I love them and I want them to feel love. That is absolutely amazing. But ask yourself, are those things coming from a frequency of love? Because if they are rooted in fear, in lack of worthiness, and you feeling that you have to do it to pay it back, or you have to do it because you're so afraid that you're going to lose it, or you have to do it because you have to show to the universe how grateful you are because they're going to take these things away from you, you are achieving quite the opposite. I hope I helped you to understand the frequency of gratitude a little bit more. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out or leave them in the comments. And I am so grateful for my community here. I'm so grateful that I can do what I do here with you guys. And the reason I can do this is because Father Universe provides for me from a variety of sources in a variety of ways. And this is my way to pay back with gratitude.